Columbus, Georgia, one last time for the biggest game of them all at the USA Softball International Cup and one of the biggest rivalries on the international softball stage. Japan and the United States playing for the gold medal of the International Cup. Courtney Lyle alongside two-time Olympic gold medalist for Team USA, Michelle Smith. And not only are they playing for a title today, they're number 1 and number 2 in the world. Both of these teams went 8-1 this week here at the International Cup. And there's a history between these two teams. And most notably, back in 2008, the last time softball was in the Olympics, it was Japan taking the gold medal from Team USA.
Well, anytime Japan and Team USA match up on the field, it's always going to be epic. Two of the best pitching staffs in the world, defenders, and of course hitters.
We got to see a little preview of this rivalry on Friday night when the two teams met during round-robin play, and it was Japan getting on the board first. Saki Yamazaki only had 1 hit going into this game all week, and then she came up with not 1, but 2 RBI singles to put Japan on top 2-0.
And Team USA is going to bounce back and try to tie up this game. And how do they do it? Val Arioto again using the long ball. This 2-run shot knocks it up for Team USA.
Team USA had trouble, though. They left the bases loaded twice, and Chiharu Aoki with an RBI single would put Japan on top for good. The Japanese stayed undefeated, and they beat the U.S. 3-2 on Friday night. So now we have a rematch of this meeting in the championship game.
Well, 8 runners left on base for Team USA. Their risk is runners in scoring position. That batting average low, just 1 for 6, looking to rebound. Yesterday they were great, 6 for 16. So look for them to try to really hit with runners in scoring position today and be timely in situational hitting.
A gold medal is up for grabs at the International Cup. Can Team USA repeat as champs? We got a rematch with Japan coming up. Kat Osterman will go to the circle for Team USA to face Japan, and she hasn't given up a run this week.
Osterman has so much movement. She's not going to blow it past you. She's got great spin. It's her ability to locate pitches and just the movement of the way her ball travels through the strike zone of what makes her so hard to hit. 2 appearances in this International Cup, 12 strikeouts in each of those.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Very solid. And she hasn't pitched since Thursday against Chinese Taipei, so a little rest for Kat Osterman before she goes up against Team Japan with the gold medal at the International Cup on the line.
She's just one of the most experienced pitchers on this staff, even after coming out of retirement a year back now, really working with Team USA. She's going to throw the ball in the low 60s. She is all about spin, movement, and mix through the zone. It's a drop and a curve that she can run on both sides of the plate. She can also throw a rise ball, but really her game is low in the zone, pound the ball down toward the knees, and she's really working on throwing a couple different speeds. This, what did we call it, a comeback?
Yeah.
She's still
Don't
young,
call it
though.
a comeback. She's been here for years. Well, she'll be facing a very talented Japan lineup. This team has put up runs all week in big numbers, led off by Harada, then Iguchi and Yamazaki, the first 3 hitters that will get to look at Kat Osterman for the first time this week.
Well, prototypical Japanese team. They hit for average. They have a lot of speed, 1 through 9. They've been working on getting more right-handed bats in the lineups to combat the left-handed pitching of Team USA. So trying to be a little bit more forceful from that right side and add some power.
Last year at the International Cup, we saw this same matchup in the final, and it was the U.S. taking the win over Japan 10-5. Can Team USA repeat today after having already dropped a game to Japan this week at the International Cup? Nodoku Harada leading off, a 400 hitter. She's had a couple of multi-hit games this week against Puerto Rico and Chinese Taipei. She gets the first look at Osterman. Big cut on the first pitch.
Harada had a leadoff double against Kaylani Ricketts in that Friday night game. Came around to score. Not afraid to get in that box and try to get the game going immediately for Team Japan.
If you haven't watched Team Japan before, they are so solid and disciplined. This is one of the most disciplined groups you'll see, whether it's in the box or out in the field. I've been most impressed with their defense this week. No errors. A ball and 2 strikes to Harada.
I like the way Kat Osterman immediately, first pitch of the game, goes right in on the hands. That last pitch, a backdoor curveball, so working the outside corner. Spans the zone a little bit, so to get to 2 strikes, she's on the zone for a called strike. She goes out a little bit further. Harada doing a good job of just making sure she makes enough contact to foul it off.
And Kat Osterman is going to start out with a K.
Well, Osterman works low in the zone under the hand. She works backdoor curveball and is set up very nicely for this rise ball, well out of the zone, and Harada just taking up the ladder, not even close, swinging at a pitch, a good head above her head. So Kat Osterman, big strikeout, first of the game.
That brings us to the right fielder, Mikiko Iguchi, one of the younger players on this team, trying to get her some international experience, but watch out for her speed. If she makes contact, you might miss her running to first base.
She's very fast.
She's leading Japan right now, hitting .520 at the International Cup and with 13 hits. Osterman quickly ahead, 0-2. It's always interesting to watch these first couple of batters because we've had a strike zone that's really fluctuated this week.
Yeah, and you see the movement. That pitch on the inside corner jumps back, so a little bit of a wide call.
2 in a row.
Osterman using the rise ball to get the first strikeout, using the drop ball. Look at the way she's going to get this ball moving. And again, nowhere near the zone, but that's what makes Kat Osterman one of the best pitchers in the world, is that she gets hitters to swing at pitches outside of the strike zone. And when you can do that, you can be extremely effective.
Yamazaki takes the first pitch and sends it to Spalding at short. 3 up, 3 down. No score as we get set to see Team USA come to the plate for the first time. Haley McClenny will lead things off, followed by Kelsey Stewart and Valerie Arioto. Watch out for home runs when she's at the plate.
National Cup is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
An A+ for Taraya Flowers and Laura Berg, both assistant coaches with Team USA and Olympians themselves. Laura Berg, the only 4-time U.S. Olympian in softball. They got to throw out the first pitch today before this gold medal game at the International Cup.
It was exciting to see them, and now that they're giving back after all that experience on the field.
For Team Japan, Nozomi Ozaki will be in the circle. This USA team did face her in the All-Star Series over in Japan at the end of June, so they've seen some of her pitching. Haley McClenny will lead things off. And this is a Team USA lineup. We picked up action on Thursday with their game against Chinese Taipei. And against that team and then against Team Japan, they weren't able to string hits together. They were really struggling at the plate. But the good news is that kind of changed yesterday in their 2 games.
Yeah, the wrist runners in scoring position batting was much higher yesterday, 6 for 16.
McClenny likes the first pitch, and she's going to beat it out. The throw is off target from Ichiguchi. Aggressive early.
Well, and that's what we didn't see from Team USA when they were struggling. They were watching too many good pitches go by, but immediately Haley McClenny comes out, sets the tone for Team USA, sends Ichiguchi back up the middle, throw off line, and McClenny base hit to lead off the game for Team USA.
Kelsey Stewart up next. Stewart did not play in the first meeting with Japan on Friday. Team USA has really been working their lineup. They've made a lot of changes, just trying to get people reps to see live international pitching with 18 players on this roster. Stewart's hitting .235 this week, a couple of RBIs to her name. Just enough room for Kelsey Stewart to get a hit. First two batters on for Team USA.
Well, Kelsey Stewart just getting it done. She always hits very well against Japan. She's going to cross over here and just pop this ball the opposite way, knowing that her job in this situation is just try to get on base, move her teammate up. And so it's a bonus that she gets the base hit, just dumps that right beyond the head of Atsumi, the shortstop. Team USA aggressive very early in this championship game against Japan.
And don't you know, this is what Valerie Arioto wants. No outs, 2 on, and she is at the plate. This girl crushed the ball last year in this International Cup final. 3 home runs against Japan.
It was a high-scoring game. Team USA ended up winning it 10-5, and Valerie Arioto, as you mentioned, just the long ball like crazy last year. It's fun to watch.
It was really fun to watch. She had 5 home runs last year. Already has 5 in this tournament this year. 2 of those came yesterday. Team USA played a doubleheader with Mexico and Puerto Rico on Saturday. Down the line, hops Arioto. She won't beat out the throw, but does move the runners so both are in scoring position. Oh, I'm sorry, they made they got the lead runner at third. My apologies. And Team USA, excuse me, Japan turning the double play.
Yeah, so Yamamoto immediately going to step on the bag. She's going to turn a double play, and that is one part of Japan being extremely good defensively. As you mentioned earlier in the broadcast, they have not made an error this week. This is a very sound defense for Japan.
That's the 3rd double play they've turned at the International Cup. Brings us to Rachel Garcia. Working in the DP spot today. We saw her pitch yesterday.
Well, that's one of the rare times that you see Val hit the ball on the ground. You know, typically that is what you want your 3 and your 4 hitters, is to get the ball out on the green when you have runners on scoring position. So unfortunate double play for Team USA with Arioto hitting from that right side, and that's part of the game now with the defense being so good. You play back, you play deep, and you look for that double play more like you see in Major League Baseball.
This is the first time that we're getting to see Yu Yamamoto play at third, too, for Japan. In our first meeting when Team USA played Japan, she was not playing at third. Very talented on the hot corner. One
of the oldest members of the team. I actually played against her when I played professionally for Toyota Shoki in Japan, and she was always a fireball. Just lots of energy, hitting on the field, great leadership. And the ability to be a game changer, both offensively and defensively.
Garcia lifts it to left into the glove of Harada. And Team USA able to get 2 hits, but they will leave a runner in scoring position. No score going to the 2nd. Team USA leaves a runner in scoring position, so scoreless in this gold medal game with Japan as we move to the top of the second. Of course, we're using the international rules when it comes to softball, and there's a lot of pace of play rules.
Yeah, absolutely, Courtney. And the biggest ones you're going to see are going to be the tiebreaker and the batter's box. The hitters must remain in the batter's box, and the verbal walk. If you want to intentionally walk someone, you just send them down the line and say, hey, we want to intentionally walk them. And that's all pace of play. We want to make sure that the game continues to move along in a timely manner. You're going to see the big 20-second clock behind the backstop. And some of the other differences, obviously, with illegal pitching, and we see a lot in the NCAA, the pivot foot has to stay on the ground. In international play, the pitcher's foot can be off the ground. And then that orange bag, that's a safety bag so that it tries to eliminate collisions at first base because the game is just so quick.
Yeah, so that you see the clock that you were talking about right over Cat Osterman's head.
So once the ball gets back to the pitcher and the pitcher is in the circle, that clock is supposed to start counting down, and it gives the 20 seconds in between. And you can see it's a little delayed starting at that point, but it starts down, and it's just meant to make sure that there's not too many timeouts on the field, not too much time, the catcher coming out to talk to the pitcher, or infielders coming over. Just keep everybody moving and on pace.
There's the talented third baseman we were just talking about, Yu Yamamoto. Goes down deep and gets one over the fence. It goes! Japan on the board first with a solo shot from Yu Yamamoto, her second home run this week.
Yamamoto turns the double play in the bottom of the first. USA looking like they're threatening, turns that double play and then comes up here to lead off. Look at the way she kind of toe taps and goes down and gets a drop ball and just hammers that out of the park. Lots of power, great rotation on the backside, and this ball just jumping out, getting over that left field fence.
That's the first home run that Cat Osterman has given up this week at the International Cup.
And that's a good pitch. You know, Cat did not throw that too sweet over the plate. That was down almost at the ankles, and Yamamoto just went down and got it and drove it out of the park.
Yamamoto Fujita up next. Team Japan also took an early lead against Team USA on Friday night, too.
Well, and Courtney, one of the other differences between NCAA softball and international softball is the distance of those fences down the line. That's a 235 40-foot shot because the fences are 220 feet. In college ball, they're as short as 190 feet down the line. So that's about a 30-foot difference in between the international game and the collegiate game. Much larger field, it opens it up, more doubles, more triples. You have to have quicker outfielders. And you can see there's the difference. So down the lines is where it's going to be about 20 feet difference in the collegiate game. Then in this 220 all the way around.
That's the third strikeout for Cat Osterman. She gets Fujita.
Cat Osterman going to that outside curveball or backdoor curveball we like to call it. She's going to start it in that left-handed batter's box and just bend it back into the zone, and you can see that Fujita gives a little lean back like, oh. It's international ball. Typically at times the strike zone can be wider as a hitter. When you have two strikes, you have to be able to protect.
Natsuko Sugama up, a 286 hitter this week, 4 RBI. Japan started off this inning with a lead-off solo home run from Yu Yamamoto. This tournament is so important for all these teams, but Reika Utsugi-san was really wanting her team to, see some more live pitching, all these teams are trying to get in a rhythm together because they don't play together all year.
And get their younger players experience to try to figure out which team they want to pick going into the 2020 Olympics. Remember, just 15 athletes will make each roster for each country. The rosters here are 18 women deep. But yeah, every coach has talked about the fact that they don't get a lot of time together before they hit the field, and it's about chemistry in this sport.
You know, this may be one of the last few times that we see Japan and Team USA play each other before the Olympics, too.
Yeah, they will play in the Japan Cup in August of this year, but then you're right. This could be one of the last 2 to 3 games before the showdown in Tokyo.
Back-to-back strikeouts brings Kat Osterman's total to 4. Our Manic Monday Wimbledon coverage begins at 6 a.m. Eastern on ESPN2 and 8 a.m. on ESPN with every match from the round of 16. That is 18 hours of tennis, highlighted, of course, by 15-year-old American Coco Gauff, who has just been playing incredibly. She's going to take on Simone Halep. Every point streaming live on the ESPN app, so you can watch while you're at work or on the go.
A lot of great sports going on. Got Wimbledon.
Yeah.
USA softball playing Japan. Always epic. Got the World Cup of soccer.
The USA U19 team, by the way, we're keeping an eye on them. They're also playing in this tournament right now in the bronze medal game, and they're up 8-0.
Junior World Championships. Training for that big event.
Here's Mana Atsumi. Solid shortstop for Japan. Actually played on Toyota Motor with Monica Abbott and Ali Aguilar, who are on Team USA.
Yeah.
She's got a 2-2 count to Osterman. Lines it right to Aguilar. Team Japan on the board first with a solo shot.
Yu Yamamoto getting down, driving this ball out of the yard. That solo home run, the first off Osterman of the week, puts Japan on the board 1-0.
Cool for the sport. When you think about softball in the Olympic Games, this is the biggest thing that softball has.
I just think it's so important for the young kids out there. I mean, we got to go. You know, now I can tell my daughter, like, she can dream of that.
It's about an athlete's destiny to be able to dream about becoming an Olympian. Whether or not they actually make it, I can dream of being an Olympic softball player again, and that's really what it's all about.
It has been a while since softball has been in the Olympics. 2008 was the last time, but the good news is about a year from now in Tokyo 2020, softball is back in the Olympics. Team USA and Team Japan have already qualified, and that means there are 4 spots remaining, and these tournaments will send those 4 teams to Tokyo.
2 teams will qualify from the Americas. That's going to be a big tournament up in Surrey, Canada, the end of the summer. Team Canada, Team Puerto Rico, Team Mexico. I think those are probably the 3 favorites to try to claim those 2 spots.
We got to see Puerto Rico and Mexico yesterday, and they didn't. Both of those teams are missing a few players for this tournament, but when they get those pieces together, those pitching staffs are going to be really strong.
They are outstanding. If you follow NCAA softball, the collegiate game, you notice a lot of the common names will be thrown for each Puerto Rico as well as Team Canada. Excuse me, Team Mexico.
Aguilar lays down the bunt.
Did you see that? She threw the ball underhand.
Wow.
That was impressive.
Gosh.
Well, the way, so she's a lefty, the way she pops off the mound. Look at Ozaki, the way she's going to get this ball, and immediately she's going to pitch it underhand over to first base. This is awesome. Take a look at the way, because being a lefty, a lot of times you would just go ahead and, you know, sling that overhand. And some pitchers have a hard time. They spend so much time throwing underhand that they struggle throwing overhand. Another great defensive play. This Japan team, they can showcase the glove. I don't know, see if this has got to be a Sports Center top 10. I mean, look at the way that this that ball comes out. Great job by Ozaki to pitch that ball over to first base.
Does that go against her pitch count?
Yeah, exactly. And then how about Ichiguchi being able to catch it? That was the second baseman coming over.
Wow. Michelle, you spent 16 years over in Japan playing. How do they train defensively? Because they're so solid.
Reps and reps. Lots of work with that glove. My team, we would, our first 2 hours of practice on many days would be just infield and outfield. And it would be with pitchers, without pitchers, situational. I mean, this is a Japan team that is extremely skilled, but has been through the last 30 years. They just have amazing glove work. And if you think about Major League Baseball, some of the Major League Baseball, Ichiro, how about him, right? He had a hose from outfield. He would throw runners out all the time. But it's just the discipline and the mentality that you will do repetition over and over. Throws, always on line, glove work, going and getting the ball. It's just very impressive.
Spalding to the gap. That's the third hit for Team USA.
Delaney's been a little bit quiet this week, but I'll tell you what, she is one of the best hitters on this U.S. team. And when she wakes up, she has power. She can hit to all fields. This pitch a little bit elevated, and she just smacks it the opposite way, gets it over out onto the green. Remember, we talked about the size of this field, and because of the size of the field, a lot of times the outfielders are deep and you can dump that ball in front of it, and that's exactly what Delaney Spalding does.
I'm still impressed with the underhanded throw to first. Aubrey Monroe at the plate now with 2 outs and 1 on. Monroe has not gotten a hit against Japan going back to their 3-game series at the end of June. She's a combined 0 for 4 against Team Japan this summer. And that's going to be the first strikeout for Ozaki. She gets some extra love on this defensive play. She can pitch it and pitch it to first.
Nozomi Ozaki is going to come off the pitching rubber and immediately pick up this ball. The lefty, what does she say? I'm going to pitch it over to Ichiguchi. I'm throwing a strike to first. Massive play.
Team Japan has been making great defensive plays all week. That sliding grab, also one of my favorites, but the windmill tossed over to first might be the new favorite. No errors this week.
They just have the ability to track the ball, to communicate. There it is, the windmill pitch over to Ichiguchi, the second baseman covering. Just outstanding defense. And look at how close these teams are when, yes, Japan has the advantage on the wins category, but look at runs, hits, RBIs, the lobs. Very, very similar teams with the numbers that they put up. The USA will dominate a little more in the pitching circle with strikeouts, but Team Japan makes up for their lack of strikeouts with their outstanding defense. And Team USA as well over the last 20 years. Because I remember when I was on Team USA, we learned a lot from the Japanese and implemented some of their fielding styles. How can you not, when you see such a great defensive team, you start to implement those skills into your program, and that's what we've seen a lot of. Even U.S. collegiate teams have gone over to Japan, seen the Japanese defensive work, and said, hey, we need to be better at our defensive game.
Nozomi Ozaki also hitting for herself. Pitching, making great defensive plays, going to step in and hit from the left side, just another day.
She pitches and plays ball for Taiyo Yuden, one of the pro teams over in Japan.
Well, Michelle, too, a lot of these teams, these players for Team USA go over and play in the Japan Pro League, so they're going to pick up some of those defensive habits, too, because they're playing with these players on the same team.
Yeah, absolutely. Just great knowledge shared on all sides of the field.
Aubrey Monroe has to run after it.
We'll see if they call that a drop third strike that Ozaki is going to leg out. So it looks like she's going to be safe at first after the drop third strike. It's a drop ball that just hits behind the plate, gets away from Aubrey Monroe.
Here comes the second baseman, Yuka Ichiguchi, now with a runner on.
Team USA going to charge hard anytime you see the batter look to square around. Ichiguchi knows that her job here is to try to move Ozaki up to second base, get her in scoring position. So the U.S. corner is coming very hard. Arietta Stewart. You can see when that ball is being caught, they're about 12 feet away.
And Japan knows how good of a catcher, too, Aubrey Monroe is behind the plate.
Absolutely. Got to get that ball away from the dish. With the arm of Monroe, she'll pop out and grab that ball. That's a good look at the movement from Osterman. That's a curveball to the outside corner. Osterman comes back on the inside corner. That's a backdoor curveball, so in other words, throwing in through the inside corner of the plate.
Full count coming to Ichiguchi.
Osterman again. She comes back to that backdoor curveball. We call that backdoor because we call it off of the pitcher, not off of the batter. So that's on the arm side of Osterman. So that's why we call that curveball a backdoor. It's on the inside corner, and you could see that the way Ichiguchi, she wasn't sure if it was going to hit her, but that ball, with all the great movement that Osterman has, bends back into the zone for the 6th strikeout. This one looking.
Osterman had over 2,200 strikeouts in her time at Texas. Remember, she is the only 3-time USA Softball Collegiate Player of the Year. Won it 2003, 2005, and 2006. And she's just continued to get better. I know we probably see more collegiate softball than anything else, but the players are just starting their careers there. Once they get to the pro level, their game is going to continue to grow and get better. This is the top of the order with Harada, who struck out the first time up against Osterman. To the right side, looking for 2. Team USA will just get 1. Well, Monday at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, we'll have the T-Mobile Home Run Derby on ESPN for the 26th straight year. 8 sluggers, 3 rounds, $1 million to the winner in this head-to-head bracket-style competition. Now, ESPN2 is going to have the StatCast AI version powered by AWS. You can always watch on ESPN Deportes or the ESPN app.
Nice defensive play by Kelsey Stewart, getting that ball over to Ali Aguilar. I love the fact that whenever there's breaks, Spalding and Aguilar are always talking. Those two middles, I think that's exactly what we're going to see going into Tokyo 2020. That they anchor a very strong U.S. defense. Always working together. You see the battery talking all the time. Those middles and Aguilar and Spalding. It's always getting it done.
Mikiko Iguchi now with a runner on first. Bounces it to Arioto. Japan will leave a runner on, but they still lead Team USA 1-0 here in the gold medal game of the International Cup. After missing the last two Olympic Games, softball is coming back to the Olympics. Tokyo 2020, about a year from now. They will be hosting with baseball and softball on the Olympic program, and we know that Japan is so excited to host. We've seen Team USA, how excited those players are, and they actually went over at the end of June and played 3 games against Team Japan. For that last game, Michelle, they had over 20,000 fans in the stands.
Yeah, and over 30,000 for the series. So the Japanese public loves baseball and softball. 2 of the team sports they have a chance to medal in. So it's so important that both those sports be on the Olympic program. The IOC knew that. The Japanese organizing committee for the 2020 Olympics knew that. And it's just great that both the sports are going to be played in Tokyo. It's been a lot of work, after missing the London Olympics and the Rio Olympics. Getting those sports back on the Olympic program is what it's all about for athletes around the world, as well as for the fans that watch these 2 great sports.
We talk about this rivalry between Japan and Team USA, and it's not like these 2 teams hate each other. They have so much respect for each other because they've both been helping push that fight for the Olympics. As Janie Reed starts off the bottom of the 3rd with a hit.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a lot of mutual respect between these 2 programs. All the athletes working very hard, the coaches, the staffs, everybody. As Reed pops this ball right back up the middle, aggressive turn. Love the fact that she's going out and getting a pitch that's up in the zone, drives it right back up the middle. Ichiguchi, a good job at second base trying to knock that ball down. Second time the U.S. has had their leadoff on. See if they can get something cooking here with the top of the lineup coming up.
Yeah, Haley McClenny was the first to do that. Started this game off with a single. But USA had 4 hits Friday against Japan, and they already have 4 right now here in the bottom of the 3rd.
Yeah, first time through the lineup. See what adjustments that they make here. Second time seeing Ozaki.
A high hopper over the head of Ozaki, and they get Reed at second.
Haley McClenny, you could see a little frustration because that would have been a base hit if nobody would have been on base. It was very well read by Ichiguchi, the second baseman. Look at the way this ball is a high hopper. It's perfect what you want to do if you're McClenny, but the speed of Ichiguchi, the footwork, just going to get that ball. If it had been hit anywhere else, Janie Reed would have been safe at second. So unfortunate hop for Team USA.
Kelsey Stewart steps in. 1 for 1 today. And Stewart lifts it to left field. Harada under it. 2 outs. Today on ESPN and ESPN2, the NBA Summer League rolls on with 5 more games starting at 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific with the Spurs and Hornets. We'll wrap up the night at the Thomas & Mack Center in Vegas with the Grizzlies and Clippers. All games also streaming live on the ESPN app, so you can watch anywhere. Here comes Valerie Arioto with a runner on. 2 outs. Team leading 5 home runs this week. She had a couple of home runs yesterday, one against Mexico and then did it again against Puerto Rico.
Well, she has great timing. I mean, her swing is just perfect on many different levels.
Oh, and she's hit. She'll take her base. First free pass issued by Japan today.
This pitch, rise ball just coming up and in, trying to get underneath the hands because they know what a good hitter Arioto is. So they try to get up and tight, not let her get extended, and takes one off the shoulder.
Number 21, Rachel Garcia.
So it's Arioto on first, McClinney on second for Rachel Garcia. Popped up to left in the first inning. Garcia is hitting .429 this week at the International Cup. Didn't play the first time against Team Japan, though. Garcia in foul territory, but the catch is made by Atsumi. Team USA leaving 2 more runners stranded. We will talk to head coach Ken Erickson when we come back. Top of the 4th in the gold medal game at the International Cup. Japan leading Team USA 1-0, and we're joined now by Team USA head coach Ken Erickson. And coach, we've seen your team so far leave 4 on base. What do you want to see differently from your hitters?
Score them, not leave them on. Yeah. It's a pretty simple situation that way, right? I mean, we're moving the ball well. I don't feel we're in a bad situation. I think we're getting some pretty good timing on Ozaki right now. But she's moving the ball in good hitting count situations. If our young guys can stay a little patient and stay on the white, I think we'll be okay.
And Coach, this is early in the season, relatively. It's almost like your spring training. But you know, what are some of the things that you've learned about the team this week?
They're progressing. I mean, if you watched us from the beginning of the week, we're a lot more comfortable at the plate right now. Our pitching staff and catchers are working together really, really well. And I don't think a lot of people give enough credit to what Major League Baseball does for spring training for 4 to 5 weeks, and pitchers and catchers come in early. So that's what we're doing right now. I feel really good about where we're headed. We've been through this before. Michelle, you've been with us for a long, long time and understand this process. So I hope everybody else does. This is like a heck of a team and a heck of a bunch of young women.
Yep, absolutely. Thank you, Coach. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Good luck.
All right, you got it.
New pitcher for Team USA. Replacing Kat Osterman, they will send out Ali Carta.
Well, this is about reps. This is kind of what Coach was just talking about. This is like their spring training. And, you know, Major League Baseball goes through a spring training that's anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks and really working hard to get all the players in game shape. Well, it's the same with these women. You know, a lot of them have not played college ball. We've seen 2 of them. But, you know, you've got to have ability to have reps, and Carta's going to get her chance here in the circles. She's in the upper 60s, has the ability to move the ball through the zone, and going to be attacking from the right side, obviously Kat from the left side. So really good velocity, great mix with the rise ball, curve ball, and her changeup. Carta's a little bit more off speed than what Kat Osterman is, and she'll be using that to attack these Japanese hitters.
She will start out with Saki Yamazaki. Carta threw an inning yesterday against Mexico. This is the 5th time we've seen her in the circle for Team USA this week. We got a little news when it comes to Team USA, Michelle. The soccer team defeated the Netherlands in the Women's World Cup to take home that title. Congratulations to Team USA. Of course, Team USA softball playing here.
That's right.
In this gold medal game of the International Cup. We just saw the U19 team for Team USA take the bronze in their game against Scrapyard Fast Pitch here at the International Cup. Big day for Team USA.
all around the United States Olympic Committee, I'm sure, is extremely excited about how these women's team sports are rounding up. You know, that's probably one of the best parts of the Olympic Games is when you walk into opening ceremonies and you walk in with the women's soccer team, the women's volleyball team, you know, the track and field athletes. It's Team USA, 550 athletes strong, and to be a member of that is true representation of your country. And when people ask me, like, well, what are some of the special moments of the Olympic Games that I was in? Absolutely the opening ceremonies, walking in as a unit, as Team USA representing the country. That's what all these young women are working hard to get their opportunity to make that team of 15 to represent in Tokyo.
Off the end of the bat of Yamazaki in foul territory. Team USA has not set that roster yet, so there's still competition going on amongst the team to make sure they have one of those 15 spots.
Absolutely, and that's what Coach Erickson and the selection committee, they want to make sure that these athletes are training hard every single day. Because guess what? The rest of the world is.
Oh, a big at bat, but Carta comes out on top.
Ali Carta going to throw a screwball back underneath the hands, and this is another different look that Kat Osterman does not throw. So this is why the mix is so good between Osterman coming into Carta, is that she's going to step out, throw that screwball underneath the hands, pick up the strikeout.
Pitch in the dirt to Yamamoto. She's the reason Japan has this 1-0 lead. Led off the second inning with a solo home run.
Yamamoto very patient, very balanced.
Let's take you back to the second inning, and this is how Japan took the lead, 1-0.
Osterman goes downstairs, a drop ball that is on the inside corner, and Yamamoto just turns on it, drives it out of the park.
That gets her in the back.
Garcia trying to throw a screwball up and underneath the hands, and just gets that a little bit in tight.
Carter puts one on, the first free pass issued by Team USA.
Number 16, Yamato Fujita.
In steps Fujita.
Carter working both sides of the plate, especially to those righties. She's going to work the screwball underneath the hands, and then she's going to rip that curveball across her body, work the outside corner.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Fujita. Moultrie's on it. Runner will stay. Yamamoto thought about it for a minute.
Good job by Moultrie going back. It's one of those profound differences between the college game and the international game. That would have been a home run in the collegiate game. Ball hit back to the fence. Easily brought in by Moultrie.
This is Natsuko Sugama. Japan only has 1 hit. It was that home run by Yamamoto. Monroe checking out the runner.
Aubrey Monroe has one of the best throws in the entire game from behind the plate. She drops to her knee. She's very quick with her release. Very close to getting the pickoff. Arioto going back, applying the tag. But Yamamoto getting that foot back in just in time.
It's a ball and a strike to Sugama. Second strikeout for Ali Carta. When we come back, we will talk to Japan head coach Reika Utsugi-san on the other side. Her team leads 1-0. And we're joined now by Japan head coach Reika Utsugi-san.
Utsugi-san, Kantoku, yoroshiku onegaishimasu.
Onegaishimasu.
Coach, we've seen some great defensive plays from your team. How much do you train that, and why is it important?
守備が本当にうまいから、どんな練習するとか時間とかたくさん練習しますか？
そうですね、やっぱりたくさん数を受けることと、あとやっぱりバランスですね。やっぱりゴロを取るっていうのがやっぱり次に投げるにつながっていくんで、やっぱりバランスですね。
Yes, the Japanese, they do a lot of plays, a lot of rhythm plays, and they take a lot of balls. They take a lot of infield balls, and the purpose is to build rhythm on their fielding and their footwork.
And Lucy, it's Michelle. You're obviously from America. Utsugi is a natural-born Chinese. Yamaji-san, Japanese. A diverse coaching group of women for Team Japan. How does that work for Utsugi-san?
日本のスタッフはみんないろいろな国から来て、兄さんが中国から、私アメリカからで、山井さんが日本からで、どんな雰囲気ですか？
そうですね、やっぱり国関係ない、やっぱりその3人はみんな監督できるんで、いろんなテクニック持ってるんで、そこをうまく私たちの、テクニックで試合やることですね。
She doesn't really look at it as us being from different countries. We've all been head coaches in Japan, and she just sees us as working together, and we all have our different specialties. So she just sees us as all just working together with all the players.
Oh, that's awesome. I love it. And Kantoku-san, arigatou gozaimasu. Mata ganbatte kudasai.
ありがとうございます。
Lucy, thank you. We really appreciate you.
失礼します。
Thank you very much.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Lucy was an outstanding athlete, pitcher herself, played at Arizona State University, and had an amazing career. Pitched for a couple years in Japan, then recruited me to come over. Was actually my head coach for a couple years for Toyota Shoki. I threw against Utsugi-san, Yamaji-san, who's also one of the Japanese coaches. So it really is amazing to see those three women together, all from different countries. But I love the fact that Coach Utsugi-san was like, I don't see us from being in different countries. We've all coached in this amazing league and are working hard for this team. And that's why I asked the question, because I want people that are watching this game to understand how tight-knit the world of softball is.
Quick swing from Ali Aguilar, and there's one away.
Lucy lives in San Diego. Her mom, Frances Caceres, has been watching all week long. It's pretty awesome. I obviously love talking with Lucy about how Japan is doing. I'm obviously in contact with Coach Erickson, and it's just great to see these two clubs working so hard to realize their goals of getting a medal in the Tokyo Olympics.
These are the only two teams that have qualified so far for the 2020 games. Japan qualifies automatically as the host country, and Team USA was able to punch its ticket with a win at World Championships last year in Chiba, Japan, against Japan.
That was a big year. I remember talking with Coach Erickson about last year, saying it was probably the most important year for Team USA softball in the last 10 to 12.
And so remember, this Olympics is going to be different because only 6 teams are going to compete. In the past, it's been 8 teams at the Olympics. So we already know 2 of those. There are 4 spots up for grabs.
That's right. 2 more from the Americas. And if you look at the rankings right there, Puerto Rico and Mexico, as well as Canada, with an opportunity to grab 2 of those spots. And then from the European African continents, top clubs over there, Netherlands, Italy, they'll be battling it out. And then another big one is Asia Oceania, which is going to be China, Australia, Australia, New Zealand. That's going to be a tough one. Just 1 spot up for grabs there. Chinese Taipei. That'll be in Shanghai, China, coming up at the end of September. So a lot of big softball in our world still left to play.
Moultrie to Yamamoto, has to leap up for it, but not a problem if you're Yu Yamamoto playing on the hot corner.
Well, and the speed that Moultrie has to get down the line. That's a nice play by Yamamoto. So Yamamoto, look at the way she's going to go up and get this ball. It's a high hopper. She's going to go up, immediately come down and throw, and then a good job over at first base. Nice reach by Sugama to really reach out and make sure she gets that ball in her glove before Moultrie steps on the bag.
Here's Delaney Spalding. This one gets past Atsumi at short.
Well, I knew this would happen with Delaney Spalding. It was just a matter of time, as Coach talked about, that spring training, it's getting your reps, getting your ABs, and Spalding's bat starting to come alive. This pitch left a little bit over the plate, and Spalding is just going to pepper it through that 5-6 hole, just bashes it hard enough to get it past Atsumi.
Aubrey Monroe.
Second hit of the day for Spalding. Back to Aubrey Monroe, who struck out first time up. Takes the first pitch for a strike. 5 hits for Team USA against Japan today. Monroe gets jammed, and Yamamoto is there to clean it up. Team USA has now left 5 on base. They trail by 1 at this gold medal game at the International Cup. Starting the season with the postseason last year in February. And look at the teams that we have coming for 2020.
I cannot wait. UCLA, defending national champs, are going to be there. Last year's champs, Florida State. I mean, incredible. The number of teams that were in this year's postseason: Washington, Minnesota, it is JMU, Alabama, right? They're going to be there with Montana Fouts and company. It's going to be exciting.
Very exciting. You mentioned UCLA, and by the way, one of their, Rachel Garcia, who's playing for the U.S. national team right now. Megan Faremo is playing for the U19 team, and she picked up the win in their bronze medal game here at the International Cup today.
Yeah, and both, so it's Faremo and Fout, both on that team for Team USA. Probably the top two pitchers on that U19 team.
And you'll get to see them in Clearwater.
Yep, and there's Garcia.
Natsumi grounds out to second.
Now by number 29, Nozomi Ozaki.
Here's the pitcher, Ozaki. Well, Japan and the U.S. have already played a handful of times this summer. We mentioned that Japan All-Star Series at the end of June, where Team USA went over and played in Japan. And these are the last 4 games between these two teams. The Japanese have won 3 games against the U.S., just 1 win for Team USA, but a lot of similar numbers lining up, just all gearing up, trying to get better and better, because we're going to see, I would imagine we will see this matchup in the biggest way on the Olympic stage.
Absolutely. One time or another, they will play in round robin, and more than likely in the medal round a couple times. And Team Japan came over in February to train in the United States, just like the U.S. last week was in Japan. We'll be going back over for the Japan Cup at the end of the summer in August. So these programs back and forth a lot, knowing how important it is to keep their team together as much as possible, working, chemistry. And it will be interesting to see the actual 15 teams and the alternates that are picked that make these rosters.
It's very cold in Japan in February, so they came over and played in Florida. They actually played Ken Erickson's USF squad. Then they went to the scrapyard facility in Texas, and then to the Mary Nutter in California. Strikeout for Ali Carda. Our Manic Monday Wimbledon coverage begins at 6 a.m. Eastern on ESPN and 8 a.m. on ESPN with every match from the round of 16. That is 18 hours of tennis for you. You can also see every point streaming live on the ESPN app. Pinch hitter for Team Japan, Hitomi Kawabata. And it's a quick AB. Fly out to center. Team USA is going to try to get on the board. They left a handful of runners on base so far. International Cup, Japan and the United States both went 8-1 in round robin play. And here they are meeting, number 1 and 2 in the world, but it's Team Japan with a 1-0 lead right now, thanks to a solo home run back in the 2nd inning. We've got a new pitcher in the circle for Team Japan. Misaki Katsumata is going to come in. She had a great outing, pitched the whole game against Team USA on Friday and got the win.
Yeah, Katsumata moved the ball around, located very effectively. Just 19 years old. She pitches for the same team that Yukiko Ueno pitches for. Big camera back in Takasaki, Japan. She's going to throw the ball through the mid-60s. She's got a nice rise ball and fastball combination. And as we mentioned, youngest player on the team, she used that rise ball effectively up in the zone, but it really was her location inside and outside that kept the U.S. hitters off balance, a little bit of off speed as well. So for a young pitcher, she's had a lot of training, and this is all about experience for her. And as I mentioned, Yukiko Ueno, who has been her mentor, who's the ace of the Japanese staff, who's actually injured right now and is recovering back home in Japan for them, will be a big part of that staff for Tokyo 2020, but they're really looking to have some great support for Yukiko Ueno.
And they're hoping to get it from this 19-year-old pitcher, the youngest on Team Japan.
Zaki did a good job starting off the game. The lefty was very economical. 4 innings pitched, just 48 pitches in those 4 innings.
New catcher, too. Kiyohara back there to grab the pop-up.
Kiyohara is going to pop up and get this immediately. So Reed jammed up on that inside corner, immediately out of her squat, knowing where that ball went, because it was not hit that high. So good reactions. Be able to make that catch for Kiyohara.
Well, Team USA has seen Katsumata several times, so we'll see what adjustments Haley McClenny can make as we go back to the top of the USA lineup. She only got to see Katsumata once as a pinch hitter on Friday.
On that last changeup, very similar to Yukiko Ueno's, where she kind of drives through, flips the ball out, leads with the pinky, and then pulls up really high.
McClenny liked that pitch, smacked it to left.
Haley McClenny has been on fire. She just has this desire, the energy, the fire in the eyes to go down and get a pitch off the plate. I love the fact she's just going to barrel it up. Great eye-hand coordination, barrel control. Fans are loving it.
That's the 6th hit for Team USA. They are seeing Japan much better today. Only 4 hits on Friday. Kelsey Stewart has a hit today. She's 1 for 2. Team USA has left 5 on base, though, today. They had that problem against Japan on Friday, left the bases loaded twice.
Nice changeup. Katsumata working the corners. Trying to take power away from Team USA with that off-speed pitch, about 54 miles an hour.
And that hits Kelsey Stewart. Second hit by a pitch today, but the first by Katsumata.
Well, most important, that's going to push a runner into scoring position, but it's also going to bring up Val Arioto. This is a inside pitch that just gets away, and we saw this on Friday night's game. She got herself into a little bit of trouble with the free passes. She had 6 of them in that game, worked out of jams, but also gave up a 2-run home run to Val Arioto. Well, one of the reasons Val Arioto is one of the best hitters in the game is because of her mechanics, her ability to really use her body effectively. Look at the way she's going to get that front foot down right there. So she's going to get down and then get through the ball with her hands. But it's all about timing. So when that front foot goes down and her hands stay back, that's what you see in all great hitters. It's all about timing. So that front foot goes down, you identify the pitch, and then you react to it. And that's what Val does as good as it gets.
First baseman, number 20, Valerie Arioto.
Looking for her first hit against Team Japan today with 2 on. She had 2 on in the first inning when she was up and grounded into a double play. Yesterday, she was seeing the ball really well, hit 2 home runs in 2 games.
Well, just her ability to react, to go get pitches in all parts of the zone. It's her balance, it's her setup, front foot down, hands stay back, pitch up in the zone, attacked and out of the yard. Val Arioto, one of the best at hitting for power. Identifying pitch is a great eye. Pitch on the outside corner. And look, she's probably looking at Kiera Hata, the catcher, saying, that's a ball. I know that's a ball because I have a very good eye and I can identify pitches out of the zone.
Kiyohara will move a lot behind the dish when she's catching.
See her bouncing. She'll bounce and set up inside and then hop back outside.
Strike 2.
Katsumata hiding that changeup very well. Love the way that arm flies up at the very end after she lets go of it. That really fools the hitter's eye.
It's going to be the 3rd hit batter today for Japan.
Well, and this is where the youth comes in for Katsumata. She works so good through certain parts of at-bats, but then ends up hitting the batter. So she was really good. First pitch changeup for a strike. She works in and out. On 3-1, comes back with a changeup for a strike to go to full count, and then ends up hitting Val Arioto on an inside pitch.
Bases loaded for Rachel Garcia. Team USA 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position. They had the bases loaded twice against Japan on Friday and didn't take advantage.
Katsumata getting a little bit careful.
Garcia to the shortstop. They get one. They get two. Second double play by Japan today.
We talk about the Japanese defense and their ability to turn double plays, and they do it here with one out. They're going to go ahead and try to get the double play to get out of the jam. Atsumi to Ichiguchi to Sugiyama for the double play.
Defense keeps coming through big time for Team Japan. They've been making great plays and two double plays now in this game.
Well, and as Coach Utsugi said, they work a lot of repetitions. They have the ability to do multiple things, and they just move to the ball. They position well, but when the pressure is on, this team does not panic. Those two double plays that you talked about, Courtney, in really crucial situations that kept Team USA from scoring. Look at that. The USA has 6 hits, but haven't yet been able to put a run up on the board because of that Japanese defense.
Yeah, 7 runners left on for Team USA. Last 4 games, 9 of 35 with runners in scoring position. So now we move over to the 6th inning. Japan up at the plate. Their only run was a solo home run in the 2nd inning by Yu Yamamoto. And now we start with the top of their order, facing Ali Carta. Harada here. This is her first look at Carta. She came in relief in the 4th for Kat Osterman. There goes the bunt. Arioto steps ahead to grab it. This USA team had to narrow their roster down to 15 for the upcoming Pan American Games. They're playing with 18 here at the International Cup, and Ali Carta is one of those reserves for the Pan American Games. One of the few right-handed pitchers on Team USA's staff.
Of the 3 lefties, and Kat Osterman, Monica Abbott, Kaylani Ricketts, Rachel Garcia, and Carta the righties.
Iguchi drops it in shallow center.
Iguchi plays for Toyota Shoki and has lots of speed, uses it in the Japan League, also is going to use it for Team Japan, and just dumps this ball up onto the grass. So the infield pulled in a little bit because of that speed. You could see where Danielle Spalding was playing up and in, and because of that, that ball just looped onto the green. The defense has to be back because she can also hit for power. Multi-tool athlete for Team Japan.
That's just their 2nd hit. The first was the solo home run that put him on the board. That was the first home run that Team USA has given up all week at the International Cup. There's Yamazaki. Deep shot, but not enough. Moultrie is there. Iguchi goes back to first. Well, Monday at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, we'll have the T-Mobile Home Run Derby on ESPN for the 26th straight year. 8 sluggers, 3 rounds, $1 million to the winner in this head-to-head bracket style competition. ESPN2 is going to have the StatCast AI version powered by AWS. You can always watch on ESPN Deportes and the ESPN app. Last year we had a mini home run derby in the final of the International Cup.
Yes, we did. Val Ariota was doing most of the damage.
She won that derby. 3 home runs as Team USA took the gold.
3 home runs in that single gold medal game.
Yes.
5 in the tournament. She's got 5 this year as well. And here's the home run hitter for Team Japan.
Yu Yamamoto, just 2 home runs this week, but this one in this game is a pretty big one because that's the difference right now. This tournament used to be called the World Cup of Softball, and Japan actually won gold in 2016 and 2017. Last year we saw Team USA take back the gold.
That's why I say it. It's epic.
Yep.
Every time they play, it's epic.
Ali Carta hits Yamamoto.
It's the second time that Carta has plunked Yamamoto.
You've seen it firsthand, Michelle. Yu Yamamoto is an all-around player. Defense, offense, and we've seen it all today.
Well, look at the way she turns this double play in the first inning. Ball hit at her, steps on the bag, and then ability to come across the infield. Love the way that she's always in the right position, so she positions herself correctly. And we talk about her glove, but then how about her bat as well? Getting it done here in this gold medal game. Yu Yamamoto, one of the best in the game.
Going to the bottom of the 6th when we come back. A runner left early. So that'll move us down to the bottom of the 6th inning. 1-0 as we go to the bottom of the 6th, and we want to show you what happened to get that final out. Watch the runner at first. You see she leaves early before Ali Carta hits the batter. So that is the 3rd out of that inning.
Eguchi, you can see the ball still in Carta's hand, and she's off the bag. So 3rd out of the inning, and Team USA trying to put some runs up on the board.
So we will see Yu Yamamoto come back up to the plate. There was no hit by a pitch because that runner left early. But now it's Team USA's turn, and they've got to bring somebody around here. Just a 1-run game, but they've left 7 on base. This is a good tune-up for the Pan American Games, which are coming up. Team USA will be competing in those. They'll also compete in the Japan Cup later this year, so they'll get to see Team Japan again. That's why this International Cup is so good. We've seen Ken Erickson use multiple lineups, gotten a lot of people reps to see that live pitching firsthand.
Well, I think the other thing that's important by playing the full squad of 18 is that everybody's getting an opportunity to be seen by the selection committee, which is extremely important because it gives those players that might be on the bubble reps to be seen versus just playing who he feels like might only be who he wants on the team. So I love the fact that everybody's getting their playing time.
Aguilar with the first walk.
Now batting right fielder, number 16, Michelle.
4 free passes today issued by Japan, and Team USA still hasn't brought a run across. she's safe. That's a hit.
Katsumata, I think, taking her time a little bit too much. I don't know if she was confused, thinking about maybe going to second base, trying to get the lead runner, but just not a sense of urgency. And Michelle Moultrie can run. You see she looks at second, and then she just lofts this ball over to first base. And Michelle Moultrie, at that speed, gets down the line, working very hard, hits that safety bag before that ball is caught by Ichiguchi. So big break for Team USA.
Moultrie came in a pinch hit situation in the bottom of the 7th against Chinese Taipei and walked it off for Team USA on Thursday. That's a big hit right there. 2 on with no outs for Delaney Spalding, who already has a couple of singles. USA 0 for 4 with runners in scoring position, 9 for 35 last 4 games. Spalding back at Katsumata, and it gets out to the outfield. Aguilar's across.
And you just knew that Delaney Spalding was a sleeping giant waiting to wake up. She's been outstanding. 3rd single of the day, drives this ball right back up the middle. It goes off of Katsumata and is going to bounce into the outfield. Easily going to score Aguilar. Moultrie is going to move over to scoring position at 3rd. So Team USA finally plating a run here deep in the game at the bottom of the 6th. Getting some love from Laura Berg, and well-deserved.
5th RBI for Delaney Spalding, and it ties this game in the bottom of the 6th. No outs.
Well, most important as well is it puts Team USA in a position to be able to plate some runs. Ball hit hard back up the middle, away from the defense, so that they would have a more difficult time trying to turn a double play. It's really been the double plays that have gotten Japan out of some threats, but Team USA finally breaking through and putting a run up.
Pinch hitter is Savannah Jaquish, and she is leading Team USA this week, hitting .500 at the International Cup. No outs with runners on the corners.
Savannah Jaquish had a couple of hits in that Friday night game off of Katsumata. So big opportunity here to do more damage.
She was 2 for 3. Three balls and a strike to Jaquish. And she draws the walk. Bases loaded.
Now batting left fielder number 9, Janie Reed.
Janie Reed has the bases loaded here. go-ahead run at third. It's Moultrie. She's got speed over at third.
With no outs, that Japanese defense is going to be pulled well in, trying to get the force at home. Middle infielders, Atsumi, Ichiguchi.
Team USA took gold last year. They want a repeat. A chance to take the lead.
Big inning for Team USA, bottom of the sixth. If they can plate a couple more runs here, give themselves some security, they'd be just 3 outs away.
And Katsumata will strike out Janie Reed.
This pitch is all about location. Getting that ball on that outside corner, just running away from Reed. Nice swing, but that ball just telling out. Outstanding pitch by Katsumata to pick up the first out of the inning.
Top of the order with Haley McClenny, bases loaded. Yesterday, Haley McClenny just hit a bomb against Team Mexico.
Pitch on the inside corner, just driving in at her hands, and she turns on it. And the intensity, that's what I love about Haley McClenny. You can see that fire in her eyes.
That was a 3-run shot. Eventually, they would go on to run rule Mexico. Team USA with 8 hits today. Just 1 run brought across. One for 6 with runners in scoring position. Out number 2, Moultrie's going. The go-ahead. Obstruction.
And that is speed. That is why this team is made up the way it is. Haley McClenny is going to hit this ball to the outfield. It's really not that far. Harada is going to make the catch, the throw home. And you can see the umpire is going to call obstruction. Or actually, I thought that Kiyohara was not in a bad position considering where the throw was. So Moultrie is going to get home anyway, the ball not handled. So I think now the question for Japan will be, Harada, should she have caught that ball? Was it shallow enough? And especially in foul territory, that's the question. Do you catch it for the second out, or do you let it drop because of the potential tag? Nonetheless, Team USA puts that go-ahead run up on the board.
So this is big, because if Team USA can hold on to this lead, they'll just be 3 outs away from a back-to-back gold medals at the International Cup. 2 in scoring position for Kelsey Stewart. She's got Spalding on third and Jaquish on second.
Yeah, good job by Spalding and Jaquish to move up on that throw. It's so easy at times when you're on the field to become a spectator. You're cheering for your teammate to score, and they're like, oh, wait, I got to run for first and second.
Team USA glad they've got Michelle Moultrie's speed.
Great leadership by Michelle Moultrie. Moultrie and Val Arioto are the two athletes that have been on this program the longest. They've spent quite a few years dedicating themselves to Team USA softball when the sport was not in the Olympics. Deciding to play with the US team, and here they are, 7 years later, opportunity to try to make a Tokyo Olympic team.
Arioto on deck, but there's 2 outs here with 2 on. Team USA jumps ahead. An obstruction call gets them a go-ahead run. They're just 3 outs away from repeating as the gold medalist here at the International Cup. Last year we had the same matchup in the International Cup final, Japan and Team USA. Valerie Arioto was 3 for 3 with 3 home runs to help Team USA put up a whopping 10 total runs on Japan. They would go on to win this game 10-5. Monica Abbott came in and pitched 2 2/3 innings, 4 strikeouts, and 3 hits given up. But Team USA Red taking the win by 5, and now Monica Abbott coming into the circle in the top of the 7th inning. Team USA just 3 outs away from repeating and getting the gold.
Well, the staff is so diverse for Team USA. Kat Osterman starts from the left side. We bring Ali Carta in from the right side, and now Abbott in to close. She throws with velocity up towards 70 miles an hour. She dominates with the rise and a curveball, and she is experienced. She gets most of her outs via the strikeout. A member of the 2008 Olympic team, has been playing professionally in Japan for 10 years, and Abbott can get it done in the circle for Team USA.
So she will start off by facing Yu Yamamoto. Remember, the runner was called for leaving early when Yamamoto was up to bat, so she comes up again to start the rally here. Yamamoto responsible for the only run on the board for Japan, a solo home run in the second. Abbott has recorded 33 strikeouts in 4 appearances so far at the International Cup this week. Hasn't given up a run. One away. SportsCenter tonight after Nick Suns. They'll have reaction and analysis from Julie Foudy at the Women's World Cup final in France, plus the best from today's NBA Summer League games. And SC Featured looks at the impact of Major League 30 years later. SportsCenter after Summer League hoops on ESPN and the ESPN app. Yamato Fujita up now. This would be a big win for Team USA. They faced Japan 3 times at the end of June over in Japan. Lost to them on Friday at this tournament. Trying to hang on for the win here in the championship game.
Abbott coming out. You can tell she's pumped up, throwing that ball 73 miles an hour. Working hard on those corners.
We saw Monica Abbott throw a lot of innings last year at the International Cup, but they've added Kat Osterman, some really talented arms to this USA pitching staff. Hasn't had to do as much work. "34 total strikeouts for Monica Abbott this week."
Abbott just with that velocity, the movement, the location, the experience now to go after hitters. That ball just driving down on that outside corner, and Kat Osterman, Kaylani Ricketts, both approving.
2 down, just 1 out away from Team USA repeating as the gold medalists here at the International Cup. We're going to have a pinch hitter for Team Japan. Sayaka Mori coming in. A 400 hitter this week. Hitting in Sugama's spot against Monica Abbott. Japan took the lead early in this game. It was back in the 2nd inning with a solo home run by Yu Yamamoto. It took Team USA a while to bring a run across. Finally, in the bottom of the 6th inning, they brought home 2 runs. They've had 8 hits today.
A leadoff walk and a walk later in the inning to Jaquish. A couple of hits, the sacrifice flies, getting it done for Team USA.
You see how detrimental those free passes can be on this level.
Yeah, and you know, Team USA had a lot of free passes given to them, and Friday night weren't able to capitalize on them. They've done so in this game.
Mori to Aguilar, the gold medal to Team USA, a comeback win, and they repeat here at the International Cup.
Well, great effort by Team USA, getting it done late in the game, pushing 2 runs across, but outstanding effort all the way around. I love the fact they had some adversity, lost against Japan on Friday night, come back to beat them in this championship game. Iron forges iron. I love the fact that this team is continuing to be stressed, because that's what's going to make them the best. And for Team Japan, they've played very well all week as well. So both these programs, you can see they're building towards Tokyo 2020.
Yeah, this pitching staff for Team USA has been so big. We saw the depth that they have this year, and that's really paid off. 3 different pitchers used in this game. Kat Osterman got the start in this one. And then Ali Carta came in. She's been so good in relief for Team USA. 3 strikeouts to her name. And Monica Abbott, when you have a name like Monica Abbott who can come in and finish a game off for you, you know you're strong in this circle. A really big win for Team USA, especially after dropping the game against Japan on Friday, 3-2. So many missed opportunities offensively in that game, but not today. They took advantage of those free passes. Team USA winning the gold medal at the International Cup here in Columbus, Georgia, with a 2-1 win over Japan. A great tune-up this week. The red, white, and blue go 9-1 in the International Cup. The Pan Am Games coming up next for Team USA. All of this in preparation for the biggest tournament of them all, Tokyo 2020, almost a year out from there. Team USA still looking to finalize that roster, but they're getting the reps in. That's why these tournaments are so important, and always important to pick up a big win. Team USA 9-1 this week in Columbus, Georgia. In the International Cup of Softball, they get the win in this gold medal game over their rival, Japan, 2-1. Both of those runs coming across in the 6th inning after Japan struck first in the 2nd. A big day, a championship Sunday in Columbus, and the title going to Team USA with a 2-1 win.